like the idea of calling this Arizona's finest because then our initials could be AF. You know what that means?
As F. Which reminds me.
Arizona AF, dude. Arizona's finest.
I was driving this morning and I saw a big giant AF on the side of the truck.
Okay.
And first thing that comes to your head every time you see it now, which is sad, it's probably within the last 5 to 10 years this happened, you think AF.
Yeah.
And it was American Furniture or something like that. Arizona's Furniture. It was some kind of furniture.
Yeah. I love it,
Giant
dude.
AF.
That's why we should call this Arizona's finest.
Arizona's finest
Here we are,
podcast.
episode 3.
Because it is the finest. The finest you will find.
Okay, so you want to get into this today?
Yeah, let's get
Okay, we're going to get into something that has massively affected the real estate market,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, sure.
It has.
It has.
So, in the last year, Arizona has seen like a 30% increase in home prices on average.
There's on your side. On my side,
Yeah.
it's affected the interest rates.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally affected the real estate.
So, it kind of like this, right? Boom, boom. With the interest rates.
Yeah.
It's like insane. And that is COVID.
COVID-19, coronavirus. My kids would always call it.
The Corona.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Put on
wonder-
your Corona
I wonder if
mask.
that affected Corona beer sales.
It had to have helped.
Do you think it helped?
Especially during
Or do
the
you think it
pandemic.
scared people? Like, I don't want Corona.
Oh, yeah. Everybody went to Bud Light. Natural Ice.
I wonder.
Natural
man.
Ice sales
Somebody
just
needs to
took
do
off.
some research into that. Natural ice.
Oh,
Straight from the mountaintop.
That's right. It's good stuff.
Okay.
COVID-19, the Corona, the COVID, it has a lot of nicknames.
Yeah. So
The Rona, the 19.
let's just think about this through, right? You said, okay, let's pretend like one of us was on a ship.
Okay.
I'll be the guy on the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're on the ship.
So March of 2020, I was actually in Mexico on vacation.
Great time to be there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a good time, and all of a sudden I hear there's no toilet paper in the stores. So what did I do? I went and bought Mexican toilet paper.
Is this a true story?
It's a true story, dude.
In Mexico.
We
you
went to
bought
Sam's
some
Club in Mexico and just bought some toilet paper to bring home.
Because
But-
they still had it down there.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't going.
Word hadn't got that far south.
No, they weren't as panicked.
They're
I
in the
guess.
middle of translating it to get it down there.
I couldn't tell you, man. But they still had it.
Okay.
So, let's pretend like instead I jumped on this ship and I just went sailing around the world.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of the ocean for 3 years.
3 years, dude. Fishing,
Fishing, yeah, exactly.
living life.
Just freaking spearfishing. Actually, I would love that. That's something I could get into. Being in the desert, it's not a good spot to learn how to go spearfishing.
No, there's not a lot of fish.
not a lot to do that with. But that would be a cool skill to learn, man. Hold my
Spearfishing.
breath for a long time and swim down there, spear some fish.
Yeah, it kind of freaks me out a little bit in Arizona because you can't see anything. in front
Well,
of
you know, you got your 2 feet of visibility.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
But there's a giant fish.
this giant carp comes up and starts nibbling on your toes.
Bottom of Saguaro Lake.
The creature from
There's
the
got to be giant fish down there.
Okay, but I took off on a sailboat, let's
Okay,
say,
I'm sorry.
in the ocean. I didn't hear any news. I come back, I'm like, hey man, how's life?
Life's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything happened the last couple of years?
Okay, so now I explained to you this COVID thing, the pandemic.
Yeah, tell me, there was a
There was a
pandemic?
pandemic. There was
Tell me about this.
a worldwide pandemic, not
Oh my
just
gosh.
like local.
Did tons of people die?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of deaths.
A lot of people died.
Right.
Crap, what'd you guys do?
So we listen to the government.
Okay.
That's pretty
Okay.
much it. We
Yeah.
were told what to do.
Okay. So were they able to save a lot of people that way?
It's a good question because we didn't go the other way. I don't know whether we went one way or the other. There's no way of telling unless we went back in time and redid it a different way.
But it's over now.
Kind of.
COVID's gone?
Kind of. There's a little bit. There's another variant of some sort out there, but we're told it's pretty safe now.
It's safe now.
Yeah.
So it's still there, but it's safe?
Yeah.
But, okay, so
We have vaccines now.
so is the pandemic still going? If it's still there?
It's a good question. Yes, but no.
Yes, but this is so confusing.
So-
dude.
so
so
here's
what they
the-
have you do? How did you protect yourself?
Here's what happened. Okay, first things first. Toilet paper runs out.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Everybody just starts going and buying stuff because nobody knows.
Does it cause massive diarrhea?
Nobody knows what is going to happen.
So toilet paper is the first thing people go for.
Toilet paper.
See, I would think people would go for like food and water.
Water did run out too. Okay, that's right.
Okay,
Sam's Club,
okay.
Costco started running out of water, and they started limiting how much people could take.
Water and toilet paper.
Yeah, those were the number ones. People thought that, okay, I've got to stay home for a long time. What do I need? I need water and I need to poop. So, it makes sense.
So you should invest in bidets or toilet paper.
Bidets would have saved you
When
a
the
lot
end
of
of the
money.
world comes.
Yeah. And there was literally people who needed toilet paper who couldn't get it. And I don't know what they did because we had toilet paper. I don't know what they did. They probably just jumped in their swimming pool.
Sick.
Clean it up. So that's the first thing to
So the
go.
pandemic comes and the government tells you go buy toilet paper. That's what you're saying? Because people listen to the government?
It's a conspiracy theory, man. The Costco
Okay.
was threatened everybody. If they didn't buy toilet paper, they're in trouble. No, for some reason, and I don't know how. I think it's a social media thing.
Okay.
All of a sudden, people are like, "Hey, I'm stocking up," and then everybody's like, "Oh shoot, I gotta stock up."
Okay.
I don't know how else it starts.
Okay, gotcha. But toilet paper runs
Toilet
out.
paper was hot.
What's the government telling you to do? Everybody's dying off?
Yeah, they told us to stay home.
Stay home. Okay, so that's what they said. Just stay home.
Literally, stay home. They had a curfew.
Curfew.
Yeah, curfew. Like
How long that lasts?
it was like I don't remember what time it was, like 5 or 9 o'clock. It was something like that. You needed to be home, and
So this thing only attacked at night. Is that what happened?
no, but we got kids who go out and party at night.
Okay, so no
And so they
partying
can
at
spread
night.
it. Yeah,
but
we
during
don't
the
want
day
to
you
spread
can go out?
During the day, you can spread it. At night, no parties.
No parties. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You're starting to confuse me, but yeah, this is making sense here. The other thing, this will blow you away. They shut down restaurants.
No restaurants.
The government
Dude.
shut them down. Hotels.
People eating lots of pop. No hotels.
No hotels, no restaurants. Can you imagine that?
So
Where was I going to eat?
yeah. So what if you can't cook?
You're out of luck.
What?
You're out of luck.
Eating lots of pop tarts.
So restaurants are closed
Snickers.
down. Imagine people have jobs, right?
Yeah.
People have jobs
Yeah.
serving.
People could work, right?
No.
No. Okay.
So big corporations
Okay.
early on ended up having all their employees stay home from work.
Okay.
Okay. Ghost town.
Gotcha.
I'm talking, I would go outside. My street was usually pretty busy. There was like no cars driving by
That's
because
weird.
people are staying home from work.
Yeah.
We had neighbors come walking by our house,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, you step back like 6 feet, and you're like, hey, what's up? What's up? You guys good? Yeah, okay, cool. See
Because you
you.
didn't want to get close to your
Because you
neighbors.
didn't want to get it. Yeah, because they had it.
Oh yeah.
You don't know who had it. That's the thing. It wasn't like a plague where you could see it on their skin or anything.
Okay.
You just didn't know.
So you didn't even know who was sick and who wasn't.
No, you just stayed away from everybody.
So, but it wasn't plague. You couldn't tell the sick from the unsick.
You couldn't tell the sick from the unsick. So if you coughed, automatically you had it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't cough in public. You hold
Okay.
it in, and then your eyes turn red, and then you close
And
your
once you
eyes
got-
so people don't know your eyes are watering.
You had the watering of the eyes.
And you just walk around like this, and nobody knows that you have it,
Okay.
or assume
So
you have
it
it.
sounds like people were told to stay home, but people went out during the day, but they couldn't go out at night. But people walked around the neighborhood still.
They did, yeah, to get some air.
And you never knew who had it.
Mm-mm.
And
Schools shut
School.
down.
They shut down schools,
Kids did not go to school.
so the kids get stupider.
Mine did. Mine did.
Dang.
Yeah, schools.
So this was serious. So like a bunch of kids were dying.
No, actually, kids did
Oh.
not spread it. Well, kids could spread it. Kids did not get very sick from it. They would get
Okay.
sick, but they wouldn't die. There we go. It would not affect kids very much.
Get sick but not
Which
die.
is nice.
Like a
Which is
cold or a flu.
Yeah, kind of like a cold. When my kids got it, it was like a cold.
Okay. So well that's good, right?
Hmm.
So then this was killing grown-ups.
Yeah, it was killing the elderly.
Oh, the elderly.
For sure, the elderly, and then those with medical conditions.
Okay.
And anybody, But the elderly and then those with medical conditions having to do with respiratory, it could affect them more.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so how did you protect against that? By just staying home?
We stayed home. We washed our hands. Hand sanitizer
Okay.
ran out because everyone was hand sanitizing.
Okay.
We would wear these doctor masks. You know what I mean?
Put on mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like a
Where'd you
Freddy
wear-
Krueger mask. But
Where'd
like
you wear
a
the
doctor
mask?
We would just wear it just when you go outside.
Outside?
We go to the
Like-
stores
Okay.
because stores never shut down.
So they kept stores open?
Stores
So
did.
restaurants shut down, hotels shut down,
Mm-hmm.
but stores stayed open.
Stores stayed open.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it's a necessity. You need the food,
That's true. I mean, without food, people die.
and then the workers had to work.
Okay, so those workers
Thank
could
goodness
work.
they're getting paid though.
So other workers couldn't work, but those ones could.
Those were allowed to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then,
So some people are more important than other people.
I guess
Okay,
I didn't make the rules.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I get
I'm
it.
just a
This
citizen.
is crazy.
I'm
man.
just trying to explain this.
I'm just trying to understand. I've been on this boat for 3 years.
Okay, yeah, and so people would wear these masks. You go out and everyone. So at first, people would wear masks, and you're like, "You kidding me, dude? You scared to get sick?" And then it got to the point where if you didn't have a mask on, you're the weirdo.
Really? I don't see anybody wearing masks too much anymore.
Oh no.
Is that because it's gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. It's completely
So
gone.
let me. Yeah,
That's good, man.
when you're done drilling me, I got a story for you about
Okay,
this, a real life
okay.
one.
Dude, tell me. I want to hear it.
Okay.
This is wild.
So my sister. This podcast is so early on, she's never gonna see it.
No, 2 people.
Is our
are
camera angle a little bit crooked?
It looks a little crooked.
That's okay. So my sister, she's like, is it a hermit crab? Who's the one that just stays home and
Oh
never
yeah,
leaves?
they like find their shell.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
sister is
hermit crab.
one that wants to stay home.
Okay.
She stays home. She buys everything on Amazon. She has groceries delivered. She does not leave her house.
Okay.
Okay, she works from home now with COVID. She loves it. She does not leave
There's
her
a lot
house.
of people like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's home.
Okay.
I'm not joking when I say she does not leave her house. She doesn't.
That'd be tough for me, but
It would
I
be
get
tough
it.
for
Some
me.
people like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
And her and her husband, they stay home. So anyway, her husband will go out every once in a while. She said to go get gas station or whatever to grab stuff. But she went to California with my wife and the bunch of girls went, and she goes, "Why is everybody wearing a mask?" And they had to explain to her, "Hey, this was like in 2020. It was kind of the summerish. Like, well,
Okay.
you know, there's this pandemic. We gotta wear these masks." So she's like, "Oh crap!" So she started wearing a mask everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward. Now the COVID is starting to chill a little bit, and restaurants are back open. You don't have to wear a mask in public. So they go out to lunch, all the girls again. My sister shows up with a mask. Everybody else didn't have one. She goes, "We don't need to wear these anymore." That's a true story.
Dude, that is awesome.
She doesn't watch the news, I guess.
Dude, I admire your sister. Cause like, can you imagine living a life where you're just not bothered by the news
Dude,
and the
that'd be
scare?
nice.
Oh
And that's
my
you on the
gosh.
ship. That was you on the ship. She
Yeah,
was
that,
the one
exactly.
on the ship.
So, okay, in all reality, it'd be super weird if somebody did leave 3 years ago and comes back to this, and it's
I
like,
tried to explain it.
and you try and explain what's going on. Oh, we wore masks. First, we were told not to wear masks. Then we were told to wear masks, and then it's killing the elderly, but we're shutting down schools. And then they stopped the mask mandate for adults, but they kept it in schools. And then
Sounds confusing.
it's very confusing. And then some people can work, but others can't. So you have your essential workers, people that are more important than other people.
Supply chains. Things are
yeah.
starting to run out of the stores.
And then you get the vaccine, right? You got to go get vaccinated, and that's going to stop it. And then it doesn't stop it. And then it's like so much back and forth. It would be so confusing.
Very confusing.
I mean, it is confusing. We lived through it.
It was very confusing.
And what do you do now? I mean, it's not like COVID's gone,
No, but everybody just moved on, I guess.
but the majority of people that have they had it?
Yeah,
I remember early on
everybody
that-
I know has had
Yeah,
it.
I remember that was a big thing early on. Like a bunch of people were, "Oh, I don't know anybody that's got it. This is like a giant conspiracy."
Yeah.
But now, at this point, I look back and I'm like, just about everybody I know has had COVID.
Right. So one of my ideas, this probably shouldn't be out there, but one of my ideas from the very beginning, I remember when this first started, let everybody get it,
Right.
work through the system, and again, I apologize, but I said, I don't know if they should make the cut. I said, baby boomers. I was telling my parents who are older, baby boomers.
Yeah.
I said, you guys might die. I was like, but
It's kinda
guess what?
scary, right?
It's gonna free up some of that Social Security
Like,
money.
like they say, people at risk are people with diabetes and stuff like that. Like, that's my dad, man.
Right. That was my parents.
High risk.
My dad had diabetes. Has
He's
diabetes.
old, diabetes, and super high risk. Yeah,
He got the COVID. He's
It's
cool.
scary.
But yeah, I mean, it did affect people and it did kill people, which is sad.
For sure.
And you know, people I knew got very, very sick in the hospital, died. I don't know if I know somebody personally who died from it.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do know some people that have died from it, and it's super sad. This one girl she's in my office. She's young, like
Oh,
30,
wow.
30 years old, and I don't know her medical condition. I mean, I know she was overweight, but super tragic, man.
It's interesting how it picked and chose to everybody who got it, and that's what made me think so weirdly of it. It affected everybody different.
Which, yeah. So I don't know what the proper steps were to take, right? Like, there's arguments that masks were super important, and then there's other people arguing that, hey, they're just facial coverings, that they don't stop the virus, that they don't weed it out well enough unless you have like a really specialized type of mask, which nobody seemed to wear. The common surgical mask. Okay, I'll tell you a story about using the surgical mask. I went to a house and was tearing out tile, right? So tons of dust and stuff getting thrown up in the air, and I had the surgical mask on. I get done, I take that off, and I look inside, and guess what? Inside the mask was covered with dirt.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you see something like that, you're like, well, that mask probably wasn't affected, but were there some that were? Yeah.
There could have been.
Did I ever wear them? Probably not.
Right.
You know?
My favorite part of the whole thing was the social distancing. The whole 6 feet apart
It
thing.
can't travel further than 6 feet.
No, it doesn't. The 6 feet apart thing though is so nice.
Yeah.
Because one of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm standing in line and I got a guy like on my butt, and I'm like, oh gosh. So I take a step forward, and then they take a step forward. You know what I'm talking about? Have you had that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, that bothers me so bad.
Yeah.
Like to the point I never say anything, but I just get so frustrated inside.
Like, back off, bro.
Like,
Give me
okay.
some space.
Yeah. And so when people actually observe that, I was like, oh, this is like my life.
You're like, yes.
I get to stay home, which is what I love to do. I get to distance from people, which is even better. And now when I go out, you have to stay away from me.
Yeah.
I love that.
So here's what's interesting to me. I don't know the right answers to COVID, right?
Yeah.
I know I chose to live my life in a way that said, hey, I would rather live life than just stay alive. Like, there's a difference between living and surviving.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to just survive through life. So I understood that I had a risk of possibly getting sick and things of that nature, but I was still going to try and enjoy my life as much as possible. Luckily, I felt like kids were pretty safe through it. That's awesome. But I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know the ins and outs of COVID. I felt super terrible for, like I said, I know people that died from it. I know people that got pretty sick from it and struggled in the hospital and then later recovered. So I've seen all those sides of it. I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. But what it did for us as a society, and what it did for our country, is just, it's weird, man.
There was a big division,
Like,
which was weird.
so I'm in real estate. I do real estate. Real estate agents were considered essential workers. So we were told, yes, we can still go out and show homes during that time. Why is that essential? But a restaurant's not. Or, some other job is not. I don't know where the line between essential and non-essential was. So it kind of created a divide between people that way.
Golf
Then-
courses were essential. How does
Really?
that make sense?
Really?
Yeah.
They
You
didn't
could-
shut down?
No, you could still golf.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because
Yeah.
it's outside. I don't know.
So the regulations, they've gone back and forth. Now, on both sides, I don't care who you are. Like, you have the CDC revising numbers even now about the children. It's what I saw, the latest thing is, like, they over-reported child deaths due to COVID. And so it's like, we haven't had clear answers from the government. We haven't had clear answers from the medical professionals. We haven't had clear answers from really anywhere, it feels like. But it has changed the way we interact in society, for sure. And it changes the way we view people, right? Like I remember at first, if you didn't have a mask on, you were viewed as, oh dude, you want to kill grandma.
Yeah.
You don't care. You do not care. And then it was, hey, if you don't want to get vaccinated, you don't trust the science. You don't care. And now, very rarely do you see people running around with masks. We're seeing that the vaccine still can spread it, even if you're vaccinated. You can still get sick from it. Now, hopefully, there's some protection there.
Yeah.
But I don't know the numbers. And then we've seen prices go crazy, right?
Right, because of supply.
Like at first, when COVID first hit, boom, house prices, people were scared to death.
My
So
next
they
door
were-
neighbor dropped his price 3 times trying to sell his house.
Yeah, dude, I had a guy selling a lot. He's all, just unload it, get rid of it. We're gonna drop it 50 grand. And that 3 to 4 weeks, it's like everybody was scared. If you would have picked up homes in that 3 to 4
That was
weeks,
the time to buy, yeah.
you would have made some moolah. And then it just skyrocketed because people were stuck in their
There's just
homes.
uncertainty, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, if I'm gonna be stuck at home, I want a nice home and
And
a place to work with.
Then people started, Home Depot got super busy because people started putting money
Doing
into their
home
homes.
repairs and then construction, like getting
Prices
supplies,
jumped.
materials, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So weird.
Isn't it crazy? Economics in high school, it's real. Supply and demand
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah, it is real,
Should've
right?
listened.
Dang. And now we have millennials that I think were holding off on buying homes. They all of a sudden jumped into the market, and that's this huge generation. Like I don't know if people understand that millennials are a larger generation than the baby boomers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
There's
haven't
a
studied
bigger
that.
population than the baby boomer population. So that's a bunch of kids that are between, what's the age of millennials? I don't know, 25 to 40, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they're like, hey, we're jumping in, we're buying a house now. On top of that, interest rates, like you said, the government's like, hey, we need to make sure people have tons of money. So all of a sudden they were handing out checks, but then they also dropped interest rates, so it was so much easier to borrow. Well, when it's easier to borrow, guess what? More people borrow.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, and so then prices of homes just skyrocketed. Now, here's the question: what's that going to do for the future? Like I think that's where people are like, I don't get this. I don't get what's going on. Gas prices are through the roof right now. Home prices have gone through the roof. So you shared with me an article today. What did it say
That
about
they,
affordability?
yeah, 3 out of 4 Arizonans are priced out of buying a home that's $450,000.
That's crazy. So 75% of the population can't afford the median price home, right?
According to ABC 15.
Dude, we know that they got their shiz together. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but
So with all
it's
this,
interesting.
yeah. So with all this craziness with COVID, which we talk about it, but we don't really know. Like I don't know. Maybe you know more than I do. Do you know more about COVID than me?
No, I don't. No, I'm
It's
not a hermit
confusing,
guy.
right?
I stayed at home. I listened to them. I'm staying home.
Right.
I like this life.
Get people away from me.
Please don't let me go anywhere.
So it's like, and then it's still out there, but supposedly it's safe now. At
Yeah.
least that's what they're telling us, right? But we just don't know. There's too much
Yeah.
conflicting information to know for sure what's really going on. In my opinion, that's how I feel. I just feel confused, and
I think everybody is, and it's just a matter of, I don't know. Just living your life. You still gotta enjoy it.
That's it.
But this is
I
a
think
weird
that's
thing
very
about
important.
the whole thing. I used to shake hands a lot.
Okay.
When I meet somebody, when I say goodbye to them, when COVID came, shaking hands stopped.
Yeah.
And it's still that way. If you pay attention, when there's a time when you normally would shake someone's hand, there's a little hesitant on either party. It's like, do we shake hands? Do we bump fists?
Yeah.
It's
true.
real. And it's weird.
It's true.
Because handshakes used to mean something.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they don't mean
Judge a
anything.
man by the strength of his handshake.
That's
Dude, he's like a dead fish. You can't trust that guy. You can't trust him.
If they can grab you, you're like, okay, this guy means business.
And so, but what's that going to do for home prices? So here's the thing: people are still living in their homes. It took the supply of homes way down.
Way down. 'Cause
So
yeah.
active listings in like the Phoenix area in our local MLS here is still below 5,000 homes.
Do you think it's happened because home prices have gone up so much? People are like, I'm not moving because I'm not going to go somewhere else, or do you think it's because, hey, I just renovated my house, There's no reason for me to move. I just put a bunch of money into it.
Yeah, it's a super good question. I don't know, man. I think that all of those things play a factor. There's some people that are hesitant. They're like, yeah, I'd love to sell my house and take care of that equity, but where am I going to go?
Everybody says that. I get a lot of people. I talk to, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of
Where am I
people say that.
going to go? Now, what's interesting is if you did want to increase the size of your house, or like you have a growing family, right now is probably the best time to do that, even though you may end up paying more for your house than you would if you wait. But you have so much more equity to deal with
To put it into the other house.
that because of that extra money that you have to put into the other house, you're going to be in a better position than if you wait till home prices drop.
Yeah.
Because when it's harder to sell your house and then you take less equity out, you're going to have a lot less money to deal with
Put down on the
for
other
the new one.
Yeah.
So, but there is that hesitation for sure. Well, where am I going to go? There are a lot of people that improve their homes and are just like, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah. We made it the way we wanted it.
Exactly.
We're staying here.
Yeah, why move? And for those people, yeah, why would you move? You should stay.
And then on top of all this, Craig, there is a lot of people moving to the valley from out of state right now.
So there's a lot of that. There is a ton of that, and I think some of that's COVID related as well, right?
Could be.
We have, I mean, we do have a ton of businesses that are investing here
Yeah.
in Arizona. Amazon has huge warehouses that they've been building. I've heard of chip companies, like, the microchip companies coming here.
LG's opening a plant somewhere in the valley.
Yeah, Intel has increased their campus. There's a whole bunch
A
of.
lot of companies.
So there's people coming in for that reason. There also, because of COVID, we had some states that were super strict with locking people down, and their regulations, and then we had other states that were less strict. Arizona was a little bit less strict, and so we've seen people come because they're like, hey, I'm going to take the risk and just live my life, and that's I'd rather go to a place like Arizona.
I feel like the popular ones, I could be wrong, but Arizona, Texas, and Florida were the ones that people were like, okay, we're going here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of increase. I can speak for Arizona. I don't know about the other states as much, but I've heard, yeah. So that's been interesting too. And maybe people coming from these other states like California, Washington, they have a little bit more money. So even though Arizonans, you look at the salary of an Arizona, and they can't afford the houses nowadays, but maybe the salary of a Californian, they can.
And that could be the other reason why everything's still getting pushed. I mean, there's such a low inventory, and anytime something pops up, well, you got somebody from out of state who has a little more money buying it out from under everybody else. And now prices are still getting pushed up because of that.
Totally. I had a friend text me yesterday. He's like, dude, I just saw a house across my street. It sold for 7% above the listing price. So that agent can't be that stupid to not know the prices, right? I was like, no. Here's what's happening is we as agents are looking at the market and we're pricing the house according to what has recently sold.
Yeah.
To what the market dictates. But then these homes are going on the market and they're getting multiple offers, and the majority of the time, the offer that is winning the home is an offer willing to waive the appraisal contingency. So they're saying, we don't care where the appraisal comes in at,
We'll bring in
the extra cash to go above.
And
so
that's
at that
the only
point-
way they can win if you're up against 10 people, that guy's the guy that's going to win it, because the seller's like, well, you're going to buy it regardless what it appraises for.
Exactly. And so when that's the case, yeah, that house might have been priced right, but that price is not going to stay for very long.
Yeah.
And so, it's been an interesting market to negotiate in. Now with buyers, it's been super interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when you get the buyers that finally qualified, but they don't have the extra cash to come to the table. How do you get them under contract?
And when they do go under contract, it amazes me, but it happens.
It does.
I have multiple clients right now who minimum down payments are under contract.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? When it does happen.
It does happen.
Like my brother, I was able to get him into a home.
That one was amazing because that was within like a week or two.
Dude, and then I just had another client on an FHA loan, dude.
Yeah.
Which is not super easy.
No, not easy at all. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But you have to be persistent, and you have to be patient, and you have to offer on multiple homes, and you have to be willing to do that without just getting pissed that you're getting beat out all the time, which is hard.
Yeah.
Because it's emotional.
Frustrating.
You're like, dang, I thought we had that house.
Yeah. Some people only try twice, 3 times, and like, dude, forget it.
Yeah.
But there's people who are out there, 20, 30 offers,